It's a noble goal to reduce the cost of higher education and expand access, open the doors so that more students can attend. And if you listen to promoters of online learning, especially those massive open online courses known as MOOCs, you might think that online courses are the answer, some kind of miracle drug, a cure for most everything plaguing America's colleges and universities.
At Udacity, we're reinventing education.
Udacity, edX, and Coursera are three of the biggest online education companies, and their videos make MOOCs sound like a utopian dream. Classes taught by great professors from the world's top universities, sometimes free, just a click away. The founders of the big three online education companies say MOOCs give low-income Americans and students of color a free crack at the Ivy League, and they say MOOCs will make the planet a better place. Coursera's Daphne Koller, a Stanford professor, and Udacity's Sebastian Thrun, leader of the team that created Google Glass.
If you can make education free for the world, accessible everywhere, I think we can help people in the developing world.
Maybe the next Albert Einstein or the next Steve Jobs is living somewhere in a remote village in Africa. And if we could offer that person an education, they would be able to come up with the next big idea and make the world a better place for all of us.
Sounds wonderful, but is it true? First, the obvious. How do online educators teach people in remote African villages when those villages still don't have internet access? In fact, most of the people online vendors say they want to help have little or no internet access. Even here in the United States, recent immigrants, people of color, and the poor often can't afford to get online.
Welcome to our course on understanding Einstein.
Actually, it doesn't take an Einstein to do the math. So far, MOOCs equal failure. 90% of people who register for MOOCs fail to complete them. And of those who do pass, many already have their college degrees. In fact, studies show that online students just don't learn as much as students in traditional face-to-face courses. Bottom line, that promise of free, high-quality education for those who need it most, it just doesn't add up.
Online education for students around the world will be the next big thing in education. This is the single biggest change in education since the printing press.
Despite the failure to deliver, online boosters still promote themselves as New Age saviors.
We're going to turn education, high-quality education, from a privilege to a basic human right so that anyone, no matter their social, economic, or family circumstances, has access to the best education.
But are MOOCs really about teaching millions? Or are they about making millions? Are they about saving the world? Or is that just a sales pitch?
Online schools are in business to make money.
I understand.
That's what they... Just a second. You could say, I understand. Online schools, that's their business. They're in business to make money. And they will take as much money as they can. They don't give away toaster ovens.
Indeed. Thinking they may be the next big thing, investors are rushing in. Venture capitalists have already poured more than $65 million into Coursera alone, more than $1 billion into educational technology as a whole. Nothing wrong with getting rich, but don't sell yourself as Florence Nightingale. Remember those subprime mortgage schemes from a few years ago?
One day out of bankruptcy or no credit history at all. Don't wait another minute. Call 1% Realty and Loans now.
Make your dream of owning a home come true. Call now.
Financial institutions promise people access to the American dream. Anybody could own a home. Sounded too good to be true? Was too good to be true. Americans didn't get what they were promised, and the country paid a high price for buying the hype. Meanwhile, the companies selling the dream made out like bandits.
Even if you've been rejected elsewhere, don't be afraid to call, because we're using government-backed programs.
It was a terrible mistake not to look behind the subprime rhetoric. Shouldn't we now look behind the Alice in Wonderland rhetoric of online vendors?
I feel like there's a red pill and a blue pill, and you can take the blue pill and go back to your classroom and lecture your 20 students, but I've taken the red pill, and I've seen Wonderland.
Remember, so far Wonderland is more like a wasteland. Poor test scores, incredibly high dropout rates. Sometimes jumping down the rabbit hole isn't a good idea. Get the facts behind the hype from the Campaign for the Future of Higher Education at futureofhighered.org.